Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, I Platter video series of videos I've been doing for the while. We're over there to try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff, and folks, I'm going to talk about the stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, I'm the only one who remembers back in the day there used to have those like plastic sort of almost like Stein type glasses, or well, cups, or I don't know what you want to call them, that had the crushed soda logo on them. It seemed like when I was a kid, like every member of my family had at least one of those. Were they like a promotional thing, or like what was going on with that? And then now they don't exist as far as I know. I've never seen one at a Goodwill or anything like. I'm sure they're available online though. But anyway, I'm gonna go over there, eat, and talk about some stuff. Beer can Thunderbolt poster behind me, crappy old ladder off to the side. There's some Marvel figures up there. And folks, and I'm wearing a cool shirt. When I wear a cool shirt, I like to highlight the cool shirt. What cool shirt am I wearing? Boom! Coal Chamber shirt. If you're not familiar with the band Coal Chamber, they're a band. They've been around for quite a while, albeit they've been very off and on, take hiatuses for like 10 years at a time. But they came out really early on in like the new metal scene, right up there with like Korn and some of the very early progenitors, kind of defining the style. I like Coal Chamber quite a bit. At the time, I wasn't that into them, just because I didn't have a lot of exposure to them. But as time has gone by, they're a band that I've increasingly grown fond of, and actually to that end too, the lead singer's like his main project, since Coal Chamber, is a band called Devil Driver. They're also really good too. I've actually got at least one video of Devil Driver performing live on this very channel. Sadly, I don't have any of Coal Chamber because I've only seen them perform once, and it was before our smartphones were even like really a thing. So, but anyway, folks, what am I trying for y'all today? Because that's what you're here for. Unless you're here for Coal Chamber stuff, in which case we can talk Coal Chamber stuff. No, folks, we're doing boom. Ha ha ha! I'm gonna try to ha ha ha. This is Maltin. It's a non-alcoholic malt beverage. Maltin. It's like Martin, but not at all. Made with cane sugar. That's always nice. Yeah, so it's a malt beverage as it explains. I'm guessing that this is going to be similar to a couple other things I've tried. I got this at a little Mexican supermarket, and if you go to a Mexican supermarket, if you're fortunate enough to have one around you, I definitely suggest going. They have like these malt drinks. The one that I'm probably most familiar with is called Malta India, but there's a few other ones, and like it says, it's completely non-alcoholic, and they're really unique drinks. They're not going to be for everybody, but I personally like them quite a bit. I don't get them all that often, but I do like them when I have the opportunity. This is one I've never heard of before. So I figured it would be a good opportunity. It also looks like maybe it's carbonated. Are you carbonated? If it's carbonated, that would be really interesting, because I've never seen a malt drink that's carbonated like this. But it looks like it is. It looks like it's got some bubbles, and it says it's got carbon dioxide in it. So let's give it a shot, folks. Let's see how it goes. Oh, shit, okay. It's definitely carbonated. Okay, this is definitely going to be like the other ones, except again, this one's carbonated. So I like carbonated things, clearly. Oh man, I like that a lot. That's so good. Um Unless this like goes over there and turns to bile and like, makes me super duper sick or something, this is definitely my new favorite of the malt drinks, because I like the taste is very similar to the other ones, like I said, the Malta India and the other ones that I've had. Um, but adding in the carbonated aspect, again, I'm a big fan of carbonated drinks, so that for me is just that sells it. Now I will say, it's a fairly light carbonation. You don't get a lot of like a significant bite from it. But with something like a malt drink, I think that actually works pretty well. And the cool thing is with the carbonation and the flavor of the malt, it almost reminds me of kind of like a root beer. I'm not saying it tastes exactly like root beer. It definitely doesn't. But that's what my brain immediately starts thinking as soon as it starts drinking it. Because it's a sweet drink, but it has this kind of like almost old timey style soda aspect to it, kind of like a Coca Cola or a Dr. Pepper. It has that thing where it's like it tastes like something that people in like the late 1800s would have been drinking. Which for me is it works out well because I like those type of drinks. I'm a big fan of Coke and Dr. Pepper and root beer and stuff. Now I will say this: malt drinks are very sweet, and they're not going to be for everybody. That is for damn sure. And even for me, being somebody who likes sweet carbonated drinks, um, it's rich with the sweetness. Okay, it definitely is. So, although I'm enjoying myself thoroughly while drinking this, I can also say quite handily that if I were to go over there and get, say, maybe a 6 pack of these, this would be like a once a day type of drink. Which, to be fair, is pretty much what you should be doing with like soda and sweet beverages anyway. But that would definitely be the case with this one, just because, excuse me, um, it's not it's not a what I would regard as being a particularly refreshing beverage. It's more of a rewarding beverage. It's a treat versus again something that's like maybe a Sprite or something like that. It's kind of cuts through it. It's a heavy drink, but I do really like that. Um, and it really is hard to describe like what malt tastes like. It's There's almost a chocolatey aspect to it. Like I've had chocolate sodas. In fact, I did a review of a couple of chocolate sodas. I did a comparison video. Go watch that one. Um, it's somewhat reminiscent of that, but then it's sweeter and it's just kind of its own thing. Um, but I like this one a lot. I really do. Like I said, I mean, I already like the malt beverages I've had, and then adding in the carbonation for me, I think that really sells it. I would be interested to see one that's got a little bit heavier carbonation. I think that could be interesting, but even as is, I do like this. Now that said, two things have to be asked: would I get it again? Would I recommend it to other people? 100% I would get it again. I will definitely get this again. I think it'll probably be like I did a review of a Slovenian soda called Kakta. Go watch that video. And I got that from the same place that I got this. And I think I would do the same thing that I do with the Kakta, where I don't go to that particular supermarket that often, but when I do, I almost certainly would go over there and pick up at least one just to have in my fridge. I could see that being the case with this. I don't know if I need like a 6 pack of it or something like that, but having one or two in my fridge, as an option, I would like having. Now, that said, would I recommend it to other people? Yes and no. It's definitely not a beverage for everybody. It's just not. Root beers and, stuff like that. I mean, even though they can be wildly popular, it can also be very contentious. You really sort of have to already have the palate that's geared towards it. If you're somebody who you do like root beers and Dr. Pepper's sort of old style sodas, I would say give it a shot. I think that you might be able to take away from it something similar to what I'm taking away from it. However, for like just the average person, I mean, I wouldn't say don't try it. But if you do, I would go over there if possible, get one. Don't buy yourself like a pack of them or something. Just get one so you can try it. Because it's definitely not going to be for everybody. It's for me, but Definitely not going to be for everybody. Anyway, folks, that's going to do it for me on this one. 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of your month, stupendous rest of your year. And folks, if you could go over there and have yourselves a truly maltastic rest of your life, sure. I mean, it's good. I like the taste of it, so why the hell not? It's a little bit of a weak one, but we're going to go with it. Final 2 things, folks. Number 1, try to bring some positivity in the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But you can do it all the time. I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you do, folks. You try not to be an asshole. It's not the easiest thing to do in the world, folks. You know, it's very stressful times, and then there's all kinds of stuff going on in the world. You know, I talk with people who, you know, they get very enthralled, very concerned about, you know, everything that's going on. Let's take a step back when possible, and hey, not always possible. Try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives, you know, because those things can build up in us. It's important for us to go over there, you know, take some time for ourselves just to relax, enjoy ourselves, and not worry so much about everything that's going on. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, maybe you're going to go over there and try out some Maltin drink, as I've done here today. And maybe like me, you're going to enjoy it, you know, because it's a pretty spiffy drink, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lead you astray, folks. You know, but maybe like me, you'd be like, well, you know what? What if we had more carbonation? So then you go over there and you take, you know, you make your own malt drink and you build a lab and you do the thing. And you go over there and you start amping up the carbonation and it's good. But so you're over there and you're like, okay, if that was good, more carbonation, make it even better. And you just go and you press beyond the limits. And in doing so, you end up going over there and opening up a wormhole to an entirely new, different carbonated malt dimension. And you cross that border because you're a scientist like that. And, you know, you end up getting involved in like a whole, you know, intergalactic malt civil war thing. It's a whole thing. But at the end of the day, you go over there, you prosper, you help bring peace to the carbonated malt dimension. You're hailed as a hero forever. Or conversely, maybe just go over there and maybe try out some delicious malt beverage. And if you're not into that, then just whatever beverage you happen to enjoy, and just have a nice, calm, and relaxing Saturday or what the hell ever day it is for you. Bye.